Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for a new episode of All About Aetrex, Foot Health Q&A. I'm Tatiana from the Aetrex team, and we're here with our very own Dr. George Ampat. Hi, Dr. George.
Hello there. Hi, Tatiana. Thank you for having me on the show.
Of course, thank you for being here with us. So, everyone at home, Dr. George is an orthopedic surgeon, and he is also our medical consultant here at Aetrex. And for the month of April, because April is National Foot Health Awareness Month, every week we'll be doing a live about a new foot ailment. So, last week's live was about plantar fasciitis, and today we'll be talking about metatarsalgia. So before we start, Dr. George, can you tell everyone at home a little bit about yourself and how you work with Aetrex?
Good. Thank you, Tatiana. Now, I am an orthopedic surgeon. So I did part of my training in India and then I came to the United Kingdom. So I'm now in Liverpool in UK. I've been a practicing orthopedic surgeon for the last 30 years. And my main special interests are spine and foot problems. Now, I have been operating most of my life, cutting open people, changing joints, fixing fractures. But then sometimes maybe I thought that we are doing too many operations and maybe we should try avoiding too many surgical interventions. So I started trying to help people because after all, our human body is made from 40 to 50 million years of research. That is, nature has research done different designs before and then finally made the perfect human being. It created dinosaurs, didn't think that that was a good design, and finally made the human being. So it is a perfect design that nature made. Now, so when nature made the human being, the nature has given a lot of powers to the human being to survive on this planet healthily. But unfortunately, there are some problems, and medically we can solve some of those problems. But some of the problems our own body has the right material to solve. So how do we harness that and try to, because unfortunately operations may result in complications. Roughly about 1 in 5 musculoskeletal operations result in more pain after the operation than before the operation. So that is why we need to exhaust all methods without an operation if possible. And in that interest, I came across Aetrex and I found the Aetrex orthotic, and I found that it is a value based intervention for foot problems, and it had such a lot of a lot of different varieties, and within the different varieties there were different subtypes to help different conditions, and that is what attracted me to the Aetrex orthotic. Now, why is an orthotic important? I think everyone should wear an orthotic. Why do I think that everyone should wear an orthotic? It is because it recreates nature inside our feet. And let me give you an example. We were apes, we were on trees. From the trees, we descended onto the ground. But as we descended on the ground, we were meant to walk on soft ground, on sand or on grass. We were never meant to walk on hard ground. But as soon as we invented the wheel doesn't go on soft ground, only goes on hard ground. And because the wheel goes very well on hard ground, we made all surfaces very hard. Now, those hard surfaces are not suitable for our feet. If we were to walk on rocks and hard surfaces, God would have, or nature would have given us hooves and not soft feet. But because we were meant to walk on sand or grass, that is why we have soft feet. And when you have soft feet, and if you start walking on hard, solid surfaces, it is potentially there are problems that may occur. Now, it also depends on the length that you're standing and the length that you're walking. Now, most of us, if we are only standing for short periods, it is not a problem. But now we want to become more healthy. We want to do 10,000 steps in a day. And some of our occupations involve us to stand for long periods, like nurses or people, policemen or firemen, or people who in shops who are standing for long periods serving customers. They are standing for long periods and they find standing on the feet very painful. So if let me come back to the what nature envisioned for our feet. If you walk on the beach, you can see that as you make every step, there is an impression that is created on the surface of the sand. That impression, you will think your feet made that impression, but actually Mother Earth is cradling your every step. Technically, that is the type of surface, that contour is required by your foot every day and every time you make a step. But that is not available if you have hard floors. Even inside our shoe is hard and flat. What Aetrex orthotic does is gives that the same contour that is seen on the beach inside your foot. So basically, you're converting your shoe, a very industrial shoe, into a natural surface in its footbed. So you're recreating nature inside the shoe, and that is what orthotic does. Now that will allow us to stand for longer periods, walk for longer periods, and potentially prevent multiple problems which can result in foot pain. Foot pain has wide, you may think it is only at one end of the body, but it has wide consequences. Because if there is foot pain, you don't walk. And if you don't walk, there is not enough exercise for your heart. So there are many things. So feet is one of the important organs in the body, and we need to take care of our feet, and that is important. And more also, I would like to say about the scanning technology. We do scanning everywhere. Even when I change my car tire, we do what is a balancing and realignment. Now, the car tire goes only about 25,000 miles in its lifetime, but our feet go 110,000 miles. If the car tires require alignment and balancing, why not our feet? We unfortunately we don't align or balance our feet or scan our feet because we consider the feet came free of cost, and hence it is not valuable. But it is unfortunately our feet are not replaceable. You can go and get a new car tire from the next shop, but you can't get another pair of feet. So it is important that the pair that you have is looked after very well, and one of the methods of looking after the feet is having contoured orthotics inside the shoe to recreate a footbed which is like nature. Thank you, Tatiana.
Thank you, Dr. George. And that is so great. Our feet were designed to walk on soft grounds, but, every day we're walking on hard concrete. You're in an office building all day. It's a lot of strain on your feet. And that's why Aetrex orthotics are so helpful and comfortable and supportive for your feet. So let's talk about our topic today. It's metatarsalgia. So Dr. George, can you tell everyone at home what exactly is metatarsalgia? What it feels like, what the symptoms are, who may have metatarsalgia, how you even get it?
Sure, thank you. Now, if you look at a foot, there are three parts in a foot. You can see in the image that is shown. At the back, if you divide the entire foot into three equal parts, at the back or the rear is the heel. The middle is where the arches are, and in the front is where the ball of the foot is. So that has been shaded on this diagram. Here on one side, you're just seeing the undersurface of the foot, and on the other diagram, you're seeing the bones on the foot. So in the heel are the tarsal bones, and the one at the very bottom of the heel is the calcaneum. There are 7 tarsal bones. But these long bones in between the tarsal bones and the toes are the metatarsals. So they rest on the ground, and if there is pain where the metatarsals rest on the ground, that is called metatarsalgia. And any pain in that part of the foot is metatarsalgia. There are many causes for metatarsalgia. Now, generally speaking, metatarsalgia can be divided into 3 different types. There is primary metatarsalgia, secondary metatarsalgia, and iatrogenic metatarsalgia. So what is primary metatarsalgia? So I would like to show the length. There are different types of feet we have. The one on the extreme left is what is known as the Egyptian foot. The second one is called the Roman foot, and the last one is called the Greek foot. So in the Greek foot, you can notice that the second toe is longer than the other toes. Ideally, like the first one or the second one, you need the great toe to be the longest. When the great toe is the longest, the thicker bone takes the weight bearing as we walk. But unfortunately, in the type of foot which is there, I showed you the last one on the extreme right is the Greek foot. The second metatarsal is longer. So if I show you one more image, you can see that. Now, both these images look very similar, but there is a distinct difference because here let us focus on the image on the left. This is the metatarsal. So this is the first metatarsal that is the thickest. The immediately adjacent to that is the second metatarsal. Then you have the third, fourth, and the fifth. Now, I have shown that the second, third, and fourth on the diagram on the left is red and painful because the second is longer than the the first metatarsal. The first metatarsal is from the great toe. The second is from the second toe. But as this is not meant to take weight, whereas you look at the diagram on the right, what it shows on the right is that the first metatarsal is longer than the second metatarsal. Now, the first metatarsal, or the one which is from the great toe, is thicker. It is meant to take our body weight, and that is why it is thick. But when it becomes short, it does not take most of the weight because the lever arm is longer and the weight is taken by the metatarsals on the second, third, and the fourth toes. And when they take the weight, they are not meant to take that excess weight, and then it hurts underneath the foot. So people who have metatarsalgia will tend to have keratosis, or their skin underneath the heads of the second, third, and fourth metatarsals are very thick. And sometimes one of the ways of curing that pain is to shave away that excess skin, and that is done by podiatrists or chiropodist. But that does not solve the problem. So how can we decrease the pressure that is applied by those metatarsal heads onto the ground? And we can do that by using a simple device as a metatarsal pad. So if you see in this diagram, on the left, you can see the second, third, and fourth metatarsals are long. The first metatarsal is short. So there is an increased weight bearing where it is shown as red. Now, if we put a small padding, which is only about 5 millimeters thick, just ahead of the metatarsal heads, this elevates the metatarsal heads and distributes the excess pressure on that over a wider surface area and ahead of the part that is painful. That way, the pressure is decreased at the part that is painful and the weight bearing becomes more tolerable. So the simple solution to metatarsalgia is just to use a metatarsal pad, which will redistribute and bring the weight bearing to slightly before or just ahead of where it is most painful. So the metatarsal pad is the key to it. So then there are two other types I said. This is the primary metatarsalgia, but also you can have secondary metatarsalgia. Secondary metatarsalgia is because some people have cavus foot, or some people may have rheumatoid arthritis, and there is a padding underneath all the toes of the metatarsal heads. That padding slips away, and then the sort of the raw bone with just the skin strikes the surface. In that situation, you need to wear one of our orthotics, which has a memory foam, which will redistribute the weight over a much wider area and make it more comfortable. The third type of metatarsalgia is iatrogenic metatarsalgia. And that is very interesting. Iatrogenic is a term that is used when an operation goes wrong or doctor has caused the problem. Now, many people have bunion, and for bunions, they have an operation. Now, bunion is on the great toe, and sometimes when you do an operation, the great toe becomes shorter. That is part of the operative procedure. But when the great toe becomes shorter, that suddenly exposes the other toes to a greater amount of weight bearing, and that is why you have pain underneath the second, the third, and the fourth metatarsal heads. In that situation also, by having a metatarsal pad, you can elevate the bones which are pressing down to the ground and elevate it and create a relief. There is a separate situation called the Morton's neuroma. In a Morton's neuroma, sometimes with narrow feet, what happens is the nerve. So the nerves come and travel in between the metatarsal heads and then split according to each toe. So there are on each toe, there is a nerve on the inside and a nerve on the outside. Now, so over here, just before it branches out, it is like a Y. That particular part of the nerve is like a Y. Unfortunately, we do not know why, but between the third and the fourth metatarsal heads, the nerve gets compressed repeatedly. And when it gets compressed repeatedly as a reaction, the nerve creates an increased covering for it, or the insulation, like the ordinary electrical wire has a copper wire inside and a plastic insulation outside. So our nerves also have an insulation. Now, unfortunately, the insulation becomes excess, and that becomes like a small bulb, and that becomes very painful. Now, putting a metatarsal pad will actually relieve that pressure. And you can see that if you look at the diagrams at the top, you can see how the pressure is relieved. When the toes are all flat, you can see that the nerve is getting squashed here. But as soon as you put a metatarsal pad, what happens? You're spreading out these bones slightly, and that ever so slight separation provides the relief necessary for the nerve, and the Morton's neuroma is not painful anymore. So, just putting the metatarsal pad is all that is required in a metatarsalgia.
Thank you, Dr. George. Those diagrams are so helpful, and we could really visualize how much a metatarsal pad can help. And we actually have some questions here from our customers who submitted questions for you, Dr. George, if you can help them with some of their metatarsalgia questions. The first question is from Sandy H. She says, I've worn Aetrex for years for plantar fasciitis, but I'm now suffering from metatarsal pain. What can I try to help?
Thank you, Sandy, for the very poignant question. Now, it is possible that you were wearing. There are many different types of orthotics Aetrex has. I mean, some for runners, some for training, some for diabetes, some for for customizable different types of orthotics. But among all the different types, there are 4 subtypes. And there are 2 options for the back of the foot and 2 options for the front of the foot. So for the plantar fascia, it is quite likely you were using an option for the back of the foot with a medial posting, meaning that on the inside, the insole is thicker than on the outside, and that is called a medial posting. But what you want now is to use an orthotic with a metatarsal pad also. Unfortunately, I don't have one, but Titanium is yes. So that is a metatarsal pad, which is just behind the heads of the metatarsal or just ahead of the arch, and that elevates. And actually speaking, all our feet have 3 arches. There's 2 arches from front to back, and there is a transverse arch. All the metatarsal pad does is to recreate the natural transverse arch. So it is actually the best orthotic is one with a metatarsal arch also, because it recreates all the 3 arches in the normal foot.
Metatarsal pad. Thank you, Dr. George. Our next question is from Patricia E. She says, I was diagnosed with Morton's neuroma about 3 years ago, and it's getting worse. What kind of treatment is available to help?
And now, as I showed you the image of the Morton's neuroma, maybe we can, if you want, you can present that, show that image once again. So here is where the Morton's neuroma is, where the nerve is getting pinched between the 3rd and the 4th metatarsal heads. And you can see on the diagram on the top how the cross section, the nerve is getting pinched. But as soon as we wear an orthotic with a metatarsal pad, you can see that little elevation spreads out the heads of the bones apart ever so slightly, and that slight separation takes away the pressure on the nerve, and it provides relief. So though you have been suffering, my suggestion is, if you have not used an orthotic with a metatarsal pad, is to use an orthotic with a metatarsal pad, Patricia. But it's a very relevant question. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, Patricia. Our next question is, I've worn Aetrex for years for plantar fasciitis, but I'm now suffering with metatarsal pain. What can I try to help? That's from Doreen F.
Thank you, Doreen. Thank you for this question. Now, as I was explaining earlier, it is likely that you were wearing the hind foot options, or the options for the back of the foot. Now you need to also include the option for the front of the foot. So you need a medial posting for the back of the foot, which is there in an Aetrex orthotic, but there are few of the orthotics which also have a metatarsal pad. So you want the orthotic which has what ends in the number 2-5. So it has both the hind foot option as well as the forefoot option. So that is what I would suggest that you wear, Doreen.
Yes, Doreen. So that is an orthotic. That is, it has a posted heel and also a metatarsal pad. That will be very helpful to help relieve plantar fasciitis and metatarsalgia. The next question we have is from Robert D. I've had a metatarsalgia for 8 years and have been treated by lots of doctors. Custom orthotics have never helped, and Aetrex inserts have been the most tolerable option. What am I missing?
I think you have again raised a very valid point here. Now, you must understand, Aetrex orthotics can solve 90 to 95% of the problem. And it is good that the Aetrex orthotics have been helping you. But there may be some patients who require more than just the Aetrex orthotic, and some may require surgical intervention. If I take the foot model and I can show you, when you look at the foot, you can notice that this is the shin bone. You have the heel bone here, the tarsals, and these are the metatarsals. Here are the metatarsals, and these are the toes of the phalanges. Now, it is possible that there is a high arch. So normal, the arch is only mild like this, but some people have a high arch, or these the metatarsals point downwards. And because it is pointing downwards, there is increased pressure on this. Now, as I said, by putting a metatarsal pad here, you can decrease that pressure. But in some people, the amount of metatarsal that is going down is so severe that cannot be corrected by the metatarsal pad, and you may require surgery to correct the great toe. So you may require operations at the base or at the the neck of the metatarsals. But if you have a problem which cannot be solved, the first option would be for you to go have your foot scan, see what the scan recommends, and have that orthotic with a metatarsal pad. Now, if that doesn't solve your problem, I recommend that you should see a health professional so that you can get a diagnosis. Though I have Aetrex scanner and orthotics, I occasionally examine patients, see them, and I provide the necessary treatment for them. So, as I said, 90% of the foot problems can be solved by just a nice contoured orthotic, but some require the doctor to see your foot and make the diagnosis and give a specific treatment.
Yes, thank you, Dr. George. And Robert, if you're listening, we have a lot of different orthotics with different levels of comfort, of memory foam built in. So like Dr. George was saying, we recommend getting your foot scanned because there are a lot of different orthotics, so you can try right then and there. And we're happy that Aetrex Orthotics have been helping you, and we hope you find the perfect, recipe to help with your foot pain. So we really hope you can try different Aetrex Orthotics and definitely reach out to a physician. Our next question is from Margene C. I have a very high arch and currently am experiencing metatarsalgia. Can you recommend which of the Aetrex orthotic is best for this condition?
Thank you, Margene. Thank you for this question. Now, as we were demonstrated earlier on the foot model, if you have a high arch, it is likely that there is an increased pressure on the heads of the metatarsal, and that is why you got metatarsalgia. Now, one of the options I would recommend is that definitely you need a metatarsal pad, but because of your increased pain, you want an orthotic with a slightly better cushion. So, like for instance, our 400 and 700 are good orthotics, but for you specifically, because of the increased pain, you may want to use the memory foam orthotic like the 2200 series or the 2300 series, which is a premium memory foam, and that provides you much better cushioning and over the entire foot, and that may be the most ideal for you. Maybe yes. Tatiana, you can show us the 2200 and the.
We have an orthotic here. This is the 2205 memory foam orthotics. And in all of our orthotics, we have the arch support built in, but these are very cushiony. There's memory foam built in, you can see, and they also have the metatarsal pad right here.
The downside of the 2200 is that it is slightly thick, but let me tell you, this is like walking on luxury because of the memory foam inside. It is walking on luxury, and that is how it can provide the relief. It is not the hard shoe surface that come in normal shoes. As soon as you put this, you're introducing luxury or nature inside your footwear to give it the necessary relief and the necessary decrease of stress.
Yes, these are very comfortable. Dr. George said it's like you're walking on clouds. And we keep getting your foot scan. And for those who don't know, Aetrex has so many foot scanners all over the world. So you can find a location near you by going on our website and getting your foot scanned. And we actually have our Albert 2 Pro foot scanner here. I'm gonna go get my foot scanned, so I'll see you guys over there. So this right here is our Albert 2 Pro. And as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 3D cameras, and there's also 5,000 pressure sensors right here that can help see the pressure underneath your feet. So this is how it starts. You just want to stand on the foot scanner, and you can find the location on Aetrex.com. I'm going to begin my scan, and I want to make sure I'm standing very still. I'll start my scan. And right now, over 5,000 pressure sensors are working to obtain the pressure underneath my feet. The 4 3D images are taking photos. And this is going to help recommend the best orthotics and footwear for me. Just a couple seconds, you get this amazing foot profile. And you can also get this emailed to you, so you'll always have it. So right here, you can see that I have, you can email it to yourself, which is great. So this is my specific foot profile, and you can see in these 4 areas, I have a lot of pressure. I have pressure in my ball of foot and in my heel. And on the left, on the profile, you can see my arch type. I have medium arches. You see the length, the width, instep, arch height, the girth, and my shoe size. So this is basically saying the red means I have a lot of pressure. And what Aetrex Orthotics do is they help relieve that pressure. And everyone's foot scan is different, guys. So this is amazing. If you want to just know more about your feet, why not? Find the foot scanner. They are all over. You can find one near you. If I click here in orthotics, I can see here which orthotics are best for my feet. So these are saying, this scanner is saying the L2300 premium memory foam are very supportive for me. You can see here on the left, the pressure map, how red it is. And then if I were to have orthotics on, you can kind of compare and see how that pressure goes away. The bottom picture is not showing any signs of redness because these memory foam orthotics are going to help relieve the pressure and really help prevent my plantar fascia from stretching. And it's really great to help offset pressure. And then the 4 3D RealSense cameras took this 3D measurement image of my foot. And this will recommend which product is best suited for me. So these are my feet. And again, on the left, you have the foot profile still. And depending on where you go, different stores have different products. They can let you know which shoes are best for your specific foot scan. And guys, this is such amazing information. Like, how else would you find out all these little nitty-gritty details about your feet? And just a couple seconds, you find all this out. So now I'm going to go over there on the other side, back to the rack, and show you guys our products. Hi guys. So thank you for watching our foot scan. So definitely guys, get a foot scan. It is so helpful. It just takes a couple seconds out of your day, and that's it. We're going to go through our orthotics. The first one I want to show you is our casual comfort orthotic. This is the L605. They are $59.95 and they come in women's and men's sizes. They have arch support built in right here. And all of our shoes and orthotics have arch support built in. And what this does is helps relieve common foot pains like plantar fasciitis, arch pain, and heel pain. It also has this metatarsal pad, as Dr. George was mentioning. They come in women's sizes 4 through 13 and men's sizes 6 through 16. And these are great for everyday walking shoes. It's in the name, casual comfort. You're casually wearing them every day. And they're $59.95. And they have an antimicrobial copper guard lining. And they have memory foam cushioning, this layer of memory foam. Dr. George, do you want to say some words about the metatarsal pad?
Yeah, I'll also say something more about the orthotic. It's very true that as Tatiana said about how the orthotic will help in plantar fasciitis or whether you have metatarsalgia. But what we must understand is we don't need to wait for a problem to have the orthotic. It is like brushing our teeth. I don't need to have dental caries or a dental abscess for me to start brushing my teeth. I should start brushing my teeth even before I develop that problem. So that is why if we are walking, if we are standing for long periods, and we want to give comfort for our feet, I think everyone requires an orthotic. There are three arches on the foot, one on the inside of the foot, one on the outside of the foot, and one a transverse arch on the metatarsal heads. By using an arch support, you're recreating those arches and cradling the foot in the right way that is required. So yes, we want to live healthily, we want to walk 10,000 steps or maybe even more. Walking is good, and by doing, you can only do that if you make your feet comfortable, if you make your feet pain free. So it is, yes, it is very true that our orthotics will help you with plantar fasciitis and metatarsalgia, but I think we can even use it prophylactically. I don't have plantar fasciitis, I have some gout, but I still use an orthotic because I know by having a good footbed, I can walk better, stand for long periods without having pain in my feet. So it is not that only you have to have a problem to have this. You don't need to have a problem. It is good science, good advice to wear an orthotic inside your footwear.
Yes, and I'm going to show you guys how it works. So a lot of shoes come with a removable insole inside. So these are a pair of sneakers. They come with this removable insole. As you can see here, there is no arch support. If you just compare it to an Aetrex orthotic, look at that. There's no support, and this is very flimsy. There's no arch support. This is not going to support your feet at all. You can throw this away. And then here with the Aetrex orthotics, you just slip them in and you are ready to go. That is how they work. Our orthotics come in full sizes only. So if you are a half size, for example, if you're a 7.5, we recommend sizing down to a size 7 and going with that, because if you go down a size, you'll have a little bit more room in your toe area. So again, they do not come in half sizes, full sizes only. And the next style we have is our memory foam orthotics. This is the L2205 memory foam orthotics with metatarsal support. Again, they have arch support built in here, and they have the metatarsal pad. They are $74.95, and they come in women's and men's sizes, and women's from sizes 4 through 13, and men's sizes 7 through 15. And these are great for people who are on their feet all day. You know, if you are a nurse, a doctor, chef, a policeman, you're going to find a lot of support with these shoes, with these orthotics, because there's memory foam. And Dr. George, right, as you were saying, they're like little clouds under your feet.
And I specifically recommend this memory foam to my patients who are diabetics. Now, in diabetes, one of the biggest problems that can occur in type 2 diabetes is that you may develop an ulcer underneath your foot, and once the ulcer can become worse. So the intention is you need to avoid having or prevent an ulcer from developing. Having this memory foam orthotic distributes the pressure so comfortably that you will decrease the chance of getting an ulcer. So I recommend a memory foam orthotic, and as I said, it is like walking on luxury because of the thick memory foam that is available in your footbed.
Yes, we love the memory foam. And again, they work the same way. You just remove the insole from your shoe and you insert your Aetrex orthotics. And the last orthotic we have is our L2305 premium memory foam cushioning with metatarsal support. So the main difference with this orthotic and the previous one that we showed you, even though they're both memory foam, these orthotics have 43% more memory foam in the forefoot. So these have more cushioning here. And again, these are great for those who stand all day and you need that extra support. These memory foam cushioning orthotics are very comfortable, but do keep in mind that they are thicker than our other orthotics. So make sure you do have a shoe that has enough space inside to fit these. Again, we have a great return policy, 30 days. You can try them on, feel them out. So definitely take advantage of that. And if you don't already, sign up for our loyalty program, because the more you spend, the more points you get and the more you can save on purchases. And you should also sign up for our emails and text messages too, to be the first to know about new sales, exclusive items, new collections. These are $79.95. and they come in women's sizes 5 through 13 and men's sizes 7 through 15. They have a copper guard antimicrobial lining, and they have the memory foam layer, and they have an aerosol base for high energy return. And they're great for plantar fasciitis, metatarsalgia, heel pain, arch pain, a high instep. Those are our orthotics. And now we're going to jump right into our shoes. This is the Xspress Runner 2. They are $99.95. They come in women's only. They come in half sizes as well, which is great. And this is a really cool feature in the orthotic is in the shoe. They come with this removable insole here that has arch support built in. This is a dual density removable insole. So it has a memory foam top and an ultra sky bottom. And even though all of our shoes have arch support built in, and most of them do come with a removable insole that does have arch support, this removable insole also has a metatarsal pad here. So that is awesome. It is here, it is built in, it is going to help if you have ball of foot pain or metatarsalgia. And then some more comfort features that are built into the shoe. These are great for walkers, for those who need a lot of support for running. It has a TPU external heel counter here, and this helps to stabilize your heel. It has a padded collar here for extra cushioning. It has adjustable laces, so it's accommodating. And it also has this design on the outsole, and this helps relieve pressure from the heel area. This design. This is the Xspress Runner 2. They come in a lot of colors. This is gray. It comes in pink, black, and white, and they're $99.95. And they look great on. You can really dress these up. You can dress them down. I've seen people wear them in jeans, with skirts, with workout outfits. They just look like such a nice, fun sneaker. And the next style we have is one of our new sandals. This is the Daisy. It is $119.95. And if you guys at home, if you guys know Aetrex, you know the Jillian sandal, because who doesn't? This Daisy has the same kind of footbed as the Jillian. So if you love the Jillian, you're going to love the Daisy. There's memory foam cushioning throughout the footbed. Of course, it has arch support built into the footbed. And it has adjustable straps, not laces, to help you get the perfect fit. And I know a lot of people in the summertime, our feet tend to swell up. At the end of the day, our feet get a little swollen. So this is great. It's having this accommodating strap here. If you have a narrow foot, a wide foot, this is very helpful. This is the Daisy. They come in 4 different colors. And the last style we have is the Bali. These are the Bali Slides. They are $59.95. They come in women's sizes 5 through 11 and men's sizes 7 through 14. They come in a ton of different colors. It has arch support built into the footbed. It has pressure relief technology throughout the footbed. And it also has a metatarsal pad built in here, which is so amazing. And they are lightweight, they're water friendly. So if you're going on a trip, definitely pack these because they will not add any more weight to your luggage. You won't have to pay anything extra. They float, they're water friendly. So if they get wet, they will dry to their original form. And the last feature of them is that they have this dual density outsole, and this helps relieve pressure from the ball of foot and heel areas. And again, they come in women's and men's sizes. And they look really great on. The colors are fun too. And they're just really comfortable. And even like here, if you're wearing them in the stand, you can just rinse them off and get all the sand off. They dry to their original form. And yeah, that concludes our live today on metatarsalgia. So I just want to thank everyone at home for joining us today. We hope you learned a lot. We hope this medical information was useful and you guys have a better, thought on your feet. And we hope you get your feet scanned. And if you are experiencing any kind of foot pain, please seek medical help, see a physician, and care about your feet. Dr. George, thank you so much again for joining us.
Thank Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you for having and hosting the show very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. George. And we will see you guys next week on Friday, same time, same place. We'll be going over bunions. Bye, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Have a nice weekend too. Thank you.